Ba, 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 ba. Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. How are you all doing, my social media family? Being of any subscribers and our visitors alike, excuse me, to that being on my own YouTube social media channel and or likewise chat room or comment section. Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay, if not better yet, to be said to be feeling all right, or if not best of all, to be said to be feeling less and stressed, more blessed and stressed, or too blessed to possibly become or be stressed. You and yours, your family and friends, hopefully me and mine likewise as well, are all the same. Hold that thought. Could you please not do that, whoever you are, who keeps popping on my social media channel? For those persons among yourselves who do not know exactly what I am talking about, you know. So let me get into the specific details thereof. There's always this obnoxious character of a person who pops up on my social media channel, you know, and just stays for a couple few seconds before one pops out just as quick, being of which is showing just total disrespect for that being on my own. I mean, this character, and for how many, because there could possibly be others of like this kind or her kind, depending on whichever one's gender could possibly become or be. Does that the very minute I, think of it with my intention to begin the broadcast. Once I go live, the same idiot, sickle does that. And whereas he or she could possibly be some or such of anybody and everybody, of the likes of, characters of the usual suspects and or public enemy number ones, and that's including any proverbial neighbors from damn hell, dickheads or pricks, like the ones I have now, the worst kind, sort of type for worst neighborhood for vicinity area within city limits, being of which I am a tenant thereof now, unfortunately. Thanks to another neighbor from damn hell in the past for a much better neighborhood, having flipped the script upon me and had convinced the management of the building, a real estate administrator, representative personnel, or whatever I said, to give me the walking paper that he should have received after my person that went through all the proper policies and procedures of protocol to not only state my grievances with them about him a number of times, but likewise to have equal as well put in a number of police reports. Is that what I mean? Say no, but likewise, and not to mean contradict myself, but likewise to speak more correctly as well as appropriately, or whatever I say. And likewise, as I had reported him to the police a number of times, or dialed the emergency number 911 on him, and he himself had resented my person having done so and retaliated by having done just that, convinced the management of the building where I was at last for a better neighborhood to kick me to the curb or to bounce me from not only the building at this location where I was at, but also from that being a much better neighborhood it was in, compared to where I'm at now. For one of the less preferred neighborhoods and one of the much more poverty stricken and crime ridden ones, Yes. Anyway, though, anyways, it could be any number of the likes of these present proverbial neighbors from down here are the worst or worstest sorts of types for one of the worst or worstest neighborhoods. Having popped on my social media channel, moonlighting as an internet troll, not to mention moonlighting as some such other characters, or usual suspects and public enemy one and public enemy number ones, or not so familiar ones for that matter, of the rank and file of the criminal element, but to prove oneself to become or be just as lethal or dangerous, especially if the likes could moonlight as closet muggers and robbers and murderers or killers, rapists, or worse yet, worse about pedophiles, and even so pickpocketers and purse snatchers and forgers, etc. So I'm sorry about that, you all. But this jerk loser, to put it mildly now, you know, does that all the time. And how many others of like his kind do the same. Yeah. But anyway, though, getting back to some such other, as I was saying, was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted by the likes, you know, of the same of the said in question in the former previous prior mentioned. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. I'm not feeling too well myself, you know. As a matter of fact, oh, excuse me, I stayed in all day. That's just how, up under the weather I felt. And as I suspect that some of such of my present neighbors from damn hell or the worser or worstest sort of type could have played a hand in having me feel this way with the medical symptoms of, you know, a physical health ailment or malady or whatever I had said, in which I may have to pay a visit to just another dime a dozen hospital facility for its principal properties for whatever vicinity, area, neighborhood, community within Somerset city limits. But then I had explained more or less in the basic introduction, and I think likewise within the footnotes or in one or the other, if not both. You know. And I'm wondering what's going on. And as I suspect, as I had said before and stated for the record, and so I say, and state for the record again, that I say, and as I suspect that certain neighbors for my present ones could have, in other words, somehow sabotage my general physical health. So pray for me, y'all. Unless it's just something in the air or the water or the food for that matter that's affecting us all. And I don't trust any and every doctors and nurses or any and every hospitals, being a wish to prove to have become or be, self-explanatory or a no-brainer to simply say. Just like I don't trust any and every pharmacist. Then because a lot of them, let's say all of them, but a lot of them, they're not in it to, that is, they're not into the make people, persons, or patients better or well again, but rather they are in that particular profession for some such other reason or purposes, or whereas they are in the business of, keeping you sick or the business of making you sicker, you know, or whereas a lot of them are just in it for the money, you know. I'm just telling like it is. So that's why I would have to, consider some such alternative options to prescription medicines likewise as well, all the same, or the supplements, some of such, be it that over-the-counter drugs within the atmosphere for premises, probably the facility of a pharmacy, be it public or private, or be it that home remedies. I mean, it's funny that all the time I would drink, all the time I was drinking and smoking, like as in drinking intoxicating alcoholic beverages, smoking my drugatory being reefer. You know, I was feeling pretty healthy. I wouldn't say very seldom would I get sick up on the influences. after drinking intoxicating alcoholic beverages and smoke my drug choice and reefer. But I can't remember the last time I felt so devastated when I was up under the influences of either or both, And now, since I had gotten recovery for myself, it seemed like I had been getting more sicker, as I go about recovering from the consumption thereof or consuming intoxicating alcoholic beverages in my drug of choice or reefer. I don't know. That's why I said much earlier. Well, if I didn't say so before, so I say so now. If I did, there's no harm in repeating it, Nothing wrong with that. I mean, so far as there could possibly be something in the air, the water, the food, who can say? You know what I'm saying? All the same as certain neighbors who are not exactly to be considered as the good neighbors or good Samaritans, could have possibly, not just practically, but could have possibly played a hand in the way I'm feeling now, Whereas I wouldn't trust a whole lot of them as far as I could throw them, And I'd be thankful I'm not concealed carry, Because if they were to pay me an unauthorized visit, as in trespass my premises or properties, and if I was packing a piece or a gap, then all damn hell would be, just breaking loose, Yeah, all damn hell would break loose. But then I use some of anything and everything just to protect my person as a matter of self-defense, regardless of whether or not I would be packing a piece or a gap, And not even so equally well, but especially with my person feeling up under the weather, Yeah. I mean, after all, a man's home is his castle, You know what I'm saying? Can't let somebody else invade your premises and property and have you feeling all like, Scotty, what's your analysis of the case of situation? We have to get this Starship Enterprise right back on course. We seem to have hit a time warp. Lieutenant Spock, that is correction. Lieutenant Spock, what is your analysis of the case or situation? Well, it appears, Captain Kirk, that we have been caught in suspended animation, like something or someone is attempting to throw us off of our equilibrium. Prepare to launch the miniature Mario motor vehicles, the aerodynamic ones of a nature, just in case. And then we'll come back to the mothership later. Yeah, anyway, though, I may have to pay a visit to a local vicinity area neighborhood community hospital, and then within city limits. Hopefully, I wouldn't have to be transported out into the suburbs to further take care of necessary business at hand. As in from seeing a general practitioner to seeing a specialist. I don't know what's going on, I mean, misery loves company. I wouldn't be surprised if certain ones of these here particular present neighbors from damn hell could have possibly sabotaged my general physical health in some kind of way. Because lately I've been oversleeping as well as not going to sleep until the break of dawn, Could you please quit disrespecting my social media channel? You moron and sicko, whoever you are, pops on my social media channel for a couple few seconds and pops out just as quick. Anyway, getting back to some of such others before I was so rudely interrupted again. Yeah. I mean, misery loves company, so I was saying, to complete a form of previous pride, I thought, Whereas I've been finding myself for a consecutive number of nights, can't go to sleep until the break of dawn, 5 or 6 something in the morning, and then from there, once I do doze off, I find myself having slept half the day away. When I wake up, it's like noontime, or sometimes even later than that. I'm like saying, what in the world is going on? And like I'm just having quite a bit of a time of it, Whereas I'm walking like a 90-something, 100-something-year-old man, feeling just ever so weak and then some. So that's why I say I may have to pay another visit to a local vicinity area neighborhood community hospital or a medical facility at a given address location within city limits, and then do follow-up at one of its auxiliary of the medical clinic, Because this is most unusual for me to be feeling like this, up under the weather, being as is the case of situation, up under a number of consecutive days and nights in a row, and I'm having these irregular sleeping patterns and then some, as I had described much earlier. So pray for me, you all. Yeah, this feeling so, oh God. Oh my God. Words cannot describe, and I wouldn't wish these feelings upon my worstest enemies. That is if I would if I were to look at matters from a godly point of view or perspective. But then if I were not to think to do so, then I would wish some of such to happen to the likes, I mean, it's ridiculous. Then I'm wondering if some of such doctors or nurses have given me something that I could have possibly become allergic to, without my knowledge as well as without my permission, without my consent. That's why I said I don't trust any and every doctor or nurse. Neither do I trust any and every hospital or medical clinic.
God gave his son to the world. Did you mean Earth or the universe?
No, I don't.
But if God created the universe, wouldn't you want to save all of it?
For obvious reasons.
Then why did you say Earth?
Earth is a synonym for the universe.
He's grabbing at straws now. So if God's plans to save all of the universe, that means a race for octopus aliens light years away could only be saved by Jesus?
Sure.
Even though they never would have heard of him?
Yes.
Even though his appearance might be terrifying to them?
But why would his appearance be terrifying?
He has 4 limbs and they have 8.
Okay, that's enough. No. I prayed people would be more interested in my sermons. I suppose I should have been more specific. Sheldon, if these creatures were born without sin, they don't need to be saved by Jesus.
What if an octopus Adam and Eve brought sin to their world? Would they be saved by a human Jesus or an octopus Jesus? When you said God gave his son to the world, did you mean
Earth about or the that universe? One? Ooh. As a child prodigy, better be careful. One may be walking on some dangerous turf, when it comes to religiosity, supernatural or spirituality, you know what I'm saying? But then I kind of like the TV show comedy. It kind of get me to think about Lieutenant Spock of the Starship Enterprise,
I'm embarrassed to be a human being. See everybody fucking whining like bitches.
And I like Lieutenant Spock of Starship Enterprise. Although I'm
fucking embarrassed, but that's why it's easy
Christian,
for us.
aka Protestant.
Because everybody is a fucking bitch. You know it in your own fucking lives. You don't know anybody that's got any fucking balls. I'm embarrassed to be a human.
I found my dad trying to keep track of all his
Got all type family. Definitely not racist, but you're racist because you won't tell me your name.
No, I didn't make me racist.
You pulled me over because I'm a black man with dreads out.
Negative, boss. You're violating state law.
Okay. Doing 50 in town. Who the fuck would do 50 in a town? That's dumb as fuck. Obviously not, because I was looking at the speed odometer the whole time. I watched you follow me the whole time.
You'll get a chance to argue in court.
Yeah, I know I will. I know I beat it. I know y'all just trying to keep y'all quota.
I ain't got a quota.
I know y'all got a quota. You got a quota. You got bills to pay, right? So you got to write false fake tickets and just make up.
Don't get paid for that.
Okay. You get paid for something. You follow me in an unmarked car for the past 3 miles. Got better. Yeah, in an unmarked car. Unmarked car, you supposed to be looking for following me. Howdy do. Howdy do. And he want to block me so I can't show you the
Bad
undercover car.
boys, what you gonna do?
I'm in my car so I can move around.
Police officer, a cop had gotten murdered, killed where I'm at. You know,
I've
most
pinned an
recently,
account in the comments with a link to my porn and nudity. Check it out.
And I was
I've
like,
pinned an account in the comments with a link to my porn and nudity. Check it out.
Guys, we have very good fighting chances. Okay, chat. Now this is a very common mistake when you don't have
what in the world? It was like not 3 but 4
oftentimes
adolescent
this king
teenagers
is very unsafe, which means
had
you deliver a
murdered or
check here,
killed this police officer.
and then when he blocks or
cop,
moves, we take the bishop.
And I was like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? You know?
Yeah, this guy isn't very good.
I'm like, you kidding me?
Hey, you didn't even
You're
see
gonna
this.
murder a police officer, a cop, and this cop was like off duty, you know?
Hey, c'est à toi que je
So
parle.
imagine how much
Est-ce que t'as vu une fille?
more
C'est une menace.
sacrilege or blasphemous it would have been if one was in a performance of one. I hate this one TikTok
You little dumbass
video.
bitch, I ain't fucking with you.
I said, why the white girl saying
I got a
that's
million trillion things that I'd rather fucking do.
a young another
Than to be
race.
fucking with you. Little
You
stupid
know,
ass,
mouthing
I don't
off
give a fuck. I
like
don't give
so.
a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck about you. Anything that you do, don't give a fuck
And
about
I
you.
would like to tell certain neighbors around same thing for the one for them now, and as I suspect that they could possibly be partly, well, that's not to happen, responsible for the way I'm feeling now, with felony general physical health issues.
I got a million trillion things that I'd rather fucking do than to be fucking with you. Little stupid ass, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck about you and anything that you do. Don't give a fuck about you and anything that you do. Who's the loser now, Trisha? Bully this bitch.
Oh my! I was unaware of the lyrics and the strong language in that song, so I do apologize. But you know what? I apologize for nothing else.
I don't fuck with.
So anyway, though,
$7 for this. I'll have. Good morning.
I'm sorry, I'm still broadcasting.
You can't take this because then I take the queen. I'm going to move my horse. Now this is double defended, and he can't take this because then I take the queen. I actually can go here because this is defended. He can't take this. I'm going to go here. He can't kick me out. Oh, he takes my rook, but what he doesn't see is the amazing fork. I go here attacking the queen. He can't take this because then I take the queen. I'm going to move my horse. Now this is double defended, and he can't take this because then I take the queen. I actually can go here because this is defended. He can't take this. I'm going to go here. He can't kick me out. Oh, he takes my rook, but what he doesn't see is the amazing fork. If I go here attacking the queen, he can't take this because then I take the queen. I'm going to move my horse. Now this is double defended, and he can't take this because then I take the queen. I actually can go here because this is defended. He can't take this. I'm going to go here. He can't kick me out. Oh, he takes my rook, but what he doesn't see is the amazing fork. If I go here attacking the queen, he can't take this because then I take the queen. I'm going to move my horse. Now this is double defended, and he can't take this because then I take the queen. I actually can go here because this is defended. He can't take this. I'm going to go here. He can't kick me out. Oh, he takes my rook, but what he doesn't see is the amazing fork. If I go here attacking the queen, he can't take this because then I take the queen. I'm going to move my horse. Now this is double defended, and he can't take this because then I take the queen. I actually can go here because this is defended. He can't take this. I want to go here. He can't kick me out. Oh, he takes my rook, but what he doesn't see is the amazing fork. If I go here attacking the queen, he can't take this because then I take the queen. I'm going to move my horse. Now this is double defended, and he can't take this because then I take the queen. I actually can go here because this is defended. He can't take this. I'm gonna go here. He can't kick me out. Oh, he takes my rook, but what he doesn't see is the amazing fork. If I go here attacking the queen, he can't take this because then I take the queen. I'm gonna move my horse. Now,
Yeah, but anyway, though, you all, I'm just thought that I should share with you all how I'm feeling at the moment to let you know that I am putting this up on the weather, and I wish for you all to pray for me. This is my president. This is my president, the fourth for all races, people person. That president-elect of a baby killer, abortionist supporter, modern-day King Harry is not my president. Being Mr. Droopy Diaper Draws or Mr. Duty White, Tidy Bowl Man, Diaper Dame. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, though, I've been feeling just so up on the weather, you know. I need your prayers, you know. You know what I'm saying? I need your prayers, and I will hope that you pray for me. You know, pray for me, okay? Pray for me, please, because I just been feeling just so up on the weather. I don't know what has happened, what or who could possibly be responsible for what my person is feeling at the moment, you know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just feeling out of it, you know. I was like, what in the world? Did somebody do a number on me that I don't know about? Please, God, reveal it onto me. And if there are any, you know, believers, you know, among my social media family, subscribers and visitors alike, could you please pray for me? I have one of them strong Indian-like noses, don't I? And I gotta try to see about some Indian herbs and minerals. Well, other herbs and minerals. But then I am supposed to be part Indian. Maybe like white as well. Or somewhat, if not altogether, if not as much. Puerto Rican as well as Indian. Yes, pray for me. I have yet to check out Dr. Serby's, you know, recipes or home remedies. You know, Dr. Serby, he was this one black male who didn't have a PhD or medical license as a practicing physician. He didn't go to medical school, but yeah, he was coming up with all of these different home remedies, you know, to combat physical ailments of different sorts of types. Dr. Serby, Serbe, Google his name. And whereas it's supposed to be like something of the content of what would supposedly be considered as a conspiracy theory that, you know, he was cutting into the monetary financial profits of the medical community and the pharmaceutical community for that matter. And whereas a contract hit was put out upon his life whereas he was you know, vacationing. What was that? Was that in Indonesia or Central America? Maybe it was the West Indies. I can't remember. Anyway, though, the local constables is what the British would call, you know, law enforcement officers, the police and cops, you know, compared to how we Americans know them to be by another name, where they had taken him in custody, apprehended him, arrested him, supposedly for carrying what would appear to be a large amount of cash, being of which was his own. And they had from there put him in jail, and he made a request of some of such uh, his own source of types of food for his specific diet, but yet they fed him the jailhouse food. They would deny him the rights and privileges to be nourished by, some such other substances of item products, and they said that is what killed him. And so much for that. Anyway, though, I hope that you all had gotten something out of what I was saying for a recovering chronic alcoholic, and likewise a recovering habitual reefer addict. And whereas I'm feeling just so up under the weather, and I hope that you all would pray for me. Hopefully, not even so much as any of these present neighbors from damn hell have sabotaged my general physical health. Hopefully none of them have these present worse of neighbors from damn hell or worse neighborhood. Hopefully none of the doctors and nurses, not that all doctors and nurses are crooks or corrupt, have sabotaged my general physical health either. Hopefully none of them had done the same thing. Anyway, though, I'm going to close on this last note of interest because I want to try some more home remedies, if need be, incorporate into my system, my physical human body, the soul of my person. As saying that I thought since the word, for my spirit, that over the counter drugs, and if need be, whatever prescription medicines I still have left, to try to combat at least some, if not all, of the medical, physical health ailments or maladies or symptoms, being of which I have become subject to experiencing, before I were to have to possibly pay another visit to a local vicinity area neighborhood community hospital facility for its premises and properties, be it public or private, within city limits, or that's including if they were to have me shipped out to the suburbs from seeing a general practitioner to a specialist if they recommend some as such. But anyway, though, on this last note of interest, I would like to say, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins, by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary, suffering at the hands of some sort of Roman soldiers upon the orders of their superiors, be they religious, political, militaristic, or otherwise. But then, nevertheless, where he went to that cross of Calvary to become the first sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. To fulfill biblical prophecy, where he was crucified between two thieves at some such given moment in time. But nevertheless, whereas he took that punishment that he did not deserve willingly, so that, he will restore the breach between, mankind or humankind and God as he is, in human flesh. So that if any of us being of whatever race and whatever walks of life, fashion, society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old and young, like both two sexual genders of males and females, represent not only that being of which we will be associated with that of the human species, but the global community within this post 911 era by new millennium of apocalyptic day and age, whereas the doomsday clock is now at a few minutes to midnight compared on how formerly previously or prior to then was at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic time. Were to profess some such faith in them, from there we become to be blessed in one regard or another, more ways than one. First and foremost with his salvation. I say, what he had done on the cross of Calvary. Being the only means by which any of us can or could possibly become or be considered as citizens of the kingdom of heaven once we were to profess faith in him, in accordance to religious, supernatural, or spiritual beliefs of faith. whereas we would become citizens of the kingdom of heaven from that. The second of all, we'll be blessed with his deliverance. But first, you have got to get not just the much more important, but the most important blessing being of his salvation. Otherwise, you have nothing coming. Once you were to make that transition for the great beyond of the hereafter, afterlife, you wouldn't even have blessings coming your way while you're still here in the world, in the supposed so-called land of living. But the real land of living, that's many times more real, is for the hereafter, afterlife. And if you make the transition for the great beyond and hereafter without his fire insurance being the only fire insurance against the lake of fire down hell, if you don't have that blood sacrifice of his upon within your soul, then that's where your final destination would be, with the rest of the unsaved, lost down human souls or unbelievers and non-believers to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and his demons forever, compared to how we as believers in God, as in Christians, aka Protestants, not Catholics, not supposed so-called Jehovah's Witnesses, not supposed so-called Latter-day Saints, or any of those other religious cult members being led by religious cult leaders of the different false religions, but as Protestant Christian believers, we being otherwise, would be the only ones that would have the rights and privileges of blessings to be considered as associated with the city, that is with the city or the kingdom of heaven, and as we be in the presence of like-minded believers and in the company of God and his angels. I don't care what Oprah Winfrey said or what the late Billy Graham has said. Billy Graham adopting her line of thought where she was saying that all roads lead to heaven. That's what he had adopted of a belief or a concept in his later years in life. You believe that if you want, you'll have a rude awakening once you were to pass into the next life, with the devil and his demons biting on you, because God is not to be mocked. You shall reap what you sow. So please accept Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, and profess faith in him, recognize and realize what he had done and given his life upon the cross of Calvary, as he was the only one qualified to take the punishment of human beings, to restore the breach between humankind and God himself. Otherwise, you would be in for a rude awakening. Be afraid. Be very afraid, because people in damn hell want ice water. You better believe it. It ain't no joke, You keep putting off getting Christ's salvation if you want. It's going to cost you dearly, because the more you continue to reject so great a salvation, the more chances you will end up in the lake of fire down hell. Y'all take care. We out. Peace.